All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to Daytona. This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. The High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Series visits Daytona Road Course tonight. It's race number 3 of the season, and oh my gosh, are we headed for Daytona in real life? We are, baby. 35 laps tonight, and kicking it off the right way at Daytona Road Course. Who's got what it takes to tame this crazy, crazy road course? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's watch it right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, it's the twists and turns at Daytona Road Course tonight. Race number 3 of the Buschwackers Series season. And who's got what it takes, baby? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's get this party started. All right, thank you so much for coming in and joining me on TurnLeftTV. Man, I've been waiting all week to do this. Love this stuff, man. Having a good time here, and hopefully you guys are going to have a good time watching this race tonight at Daytona Road Course. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, broadcaster, commentator here at TurnLeftTV, owner of High Octane Racing League, and we've got a good one for you. Daytona Road Course, a lot of fun. Actually got out throughout the week and did some laps myself, man. So I know what these guys are going through. I've done a lap or two at Daytona Road Course. And it is a 35-lap race tonight. Guys, you're going to have to pit probably 3 times. We've got the fuel turned up to the setting at 2X in this series. So race 3, a challenging one. First of a couple road courses we have here on the schedule this season. Tonight's race is brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you are interested in an rFactor 2 server, there are 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from. That's EliteHostingUSA.com. How about some WordPress hosting, online store hosting, VPS hosting, or shared web hosting, also available through EliteHostingUSA.com. That's who provides our servers here at High Octane Racing League. Don't forget to join us over at HighOctaneRacing.net. You'll get updates of point standings, quick links to TurnLeftTV and the races in various leagues, or our series, I should say, and also a quick link to our Discord server. That's where we do most of our business. If you'd like to join us, you see we get Tough Trucks, Xfinity, of course, that's tonight. Thunder Cup, the Cup Series coming up tomorrow night, and the IndyCar Series tomorrow afternoon. That's HighOctaneRacing.net. We'll take a look at the schedule here at in the Buschwackers Series. Of course, tonight, 35-lap race at Daytona. Next week, we'll be at Michigan, the high banks of Michigan. 90-lap race. Finish out January. Then we'll do Nazareth Speedway on February the 2nd to start or to end the back half of that season, or the first half of that season. The back half is Daytona Duels, 2 races coming up on February the 9th at the Oval. And then we got the Daytona International race, full Monty there on a 70-lap race on February the 16th, followed by Atlanta, Las Vegas, and Phoenix. Interesting schedule here to kick off 2024. The High Octane Racing League Saturday Night Thunder will be in action tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here, man. Daytona Road Course. We're going to get the Cup Series out here. Beat the broadcast tonight. Won't be hard to do on the road course, I'll be honest with you. 35-lap race coming up tomorrow in the Saturday Night Thunder. Let's take a look at the track here at Daytona Road Course. 17 turns, is that right? That's a little high for me. 5.73 kilometers, 3.56 miles in length. The oval portion, those turns, 31 degrees of banking through trial with 18 degrees of banking. Back straight, 2 degrees, and the infield, flat 0 degrees, baby. I think for me the chicane is chicane, turn 1, and then the entire infield portion of the track, especially that last right-hander before you you sort of get on the back half, or before you get back up onto the oval. You got a left-hander there too. It's a little bit challenging, but that last right-hander in that infield for me is pretty tough. Turn 1's going to be crazy, and the chicane's going to be a little crazy too. Guys are going to try to do some dive bombing through there. Not a good idea. Take a look at Dana Grover racing from Tracks VR tonight, the 89 car. A good field here, 17 drivers joining us. It's going to be a madhouse tonight in the Buschwackers series. We're going to have cars everywhere. Thank you for joining me here on the YouTube channel. Peace to everybody out there. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, get that algorithm talking, and people seeing these videos. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Thanks to all those new subscribers, and most thanks to all those people who've come around or stuck around with me. And then don't forget to smash that bell so you get updates when races are going live. Got some big important folks in here. Givaldo Hammer, and then also Alexis Salviev. He's got a big race tomorrow at Road America in the IndyCar series, or I think he does. He did email me or message me and said he's got a endurance race I think he's doing as well. So hopefully he'll be out tomorrow. But again, hello to those guys, and again, don't forget to join me on TurnLeftTV week in, week out. Have some great racing going on here in the High Octane Racing League. Once in a while, I do some broadcasts for some other series whenever I had time. I want to take a look at the point standings here in the Buschwackers series coming into tonight's race. After 2 races, Franco Alvarez has the lead. Craig Marizon sits second. Ritzky Novar third. Not seeing Ritzky out here tonight. He'd be out here. John Stanley fourth. Gordon Carter sits fifth. See Claudio Bardelli Jr., Sean Jacobs, Chris Hughes, Dana Grover, and Eugene Fedorov rounding out the top 10. See if we can do the back half of that. Didn't have that quite up there, right? There we go. Back half of that, see Dennis Uderchin tops that second page. Jelson Neto 12, Jomar Peixoto 13th, Valdo Spindler 14th. You said Robillard is 15th, Dan Richter 16th, Art Vieta 17th, Tony Furtado 18th, and Steve Pierce sits 19th in points. So these guys getting ready to go over to the qualification session. Take a look at my race keys tonight. Turn 1. That's a biggie, man. Guys really go in there sometimes with way too much speed and get over on the outside of that turn and get into the grass, get into the wall, get into the tire barrier, whatever it is, everything. They hit everything if they don't hit that turn right. Tame the chicane. I think it's easy to try to be aggressive there. I think the flatter you make that chicane, the better. So, entering that chicane, you want to be over on the left side on those rumble strips a little bit. And then I think touch those rumble strips all the way through. Flatten that thing out. So be patient getting into that chicane. Infield dominance, I think guys that really can manage the car through the infield and, of course, manage traffic. We got a decent-sized field here tonight. Looks like 17 drivers joining us. So right now 15 in the server. So probably a couple jumping out, making some changes there. And limit that aggression, man. Aggressive driving here at Daytona Road Course. Very bad news. So those are my keys to the race here tonight. See, Franco Alvarez is going to be one of our favorites to win the race here, I think, tonight. Here we go, Franco Alvarez. Getting the car around here on the infield through the infield to get himself set up for his first time lap. Alexis says he's going to take a taxi to Elkhart Lake. There you go. Preston Hassel, good to see Preston Hassel, man. He's out here on the track tonight. Good to see him out. Lexi out here, and he's got to be getting ready for the IndyCar Series race tomorrow. Road America's going to be a fun one too, man. Wow. It's going to be a great race. That'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Guys are getting set up here to make their first time lap. Yeah, Road America coming up January the 20th. That's tomorrow, a 35-lap race. It's race number 5 of 6. And can anybody beat up on Alexi? Well, we'll see. He might be a little tired from that 24-hour race he's doing. You never know. Only one way to find out, and that's watch it right here on TurnLeftTV. Alvarez there through turn 1. Really patient through that section. See, guys are going to be exiting pit lane there just a little bit off of, I guess that'd be maybe turn 2 there through that infield. So that's another area you got to be really, really up on your game for guys rejoining the track. And if you're coming off pit lane, you got to be cognizant of that too. The guys are on the track through the coming off turn 1. Alvarez showed up early. He was out through the week getting some practice laps in, and those are the kind of those are the drivers, man. When they come out through the week, they get familiar with that track, regardless of whether it's an oval or a road course. Especially at road courses, and certainly the more difficult ovals. Those are the guys that seem to be at the top of the grid. And I think there's no surprise there. Alvarez flattening out that chicane, as you should. Bardelli Jr. First time, 149.220. Good for Bardelli Jr. Let's see where Alvarez lands. Marizon, 147.732. Alvarez, 146.097. Fast for Alvarez. Take a look at Steve Pierce. He is right now shown 5th on the grid. A little work to do for Steve. Chris Hughes jumps up to P6. P5. Pierce drops down to P6. Steve Pierce in the 51, one of our Texas drivers in that Captain Morgan sponsor machine. Alvarez a top time. Marizon just behind in second. Vieta third. Bardelli Jr. the first Ford. He is 4th on the grid. 51 car up onto the oval portion of the track, and as he's going to approach the chicane, his Captain Morgan sponsor machine. Neto now the top Ford. Gelson Neto sits fourth, so good run there for him so far. You can see Gelson out here racing with us. Flatten out the chicane, trying to touch that. A little bit wide right there. That's going to set himself up. Oh, he's in a touch of the grass right there. Missing it just a little bit, and that's all started on that corner entry, or that chicane entry there. Just a little bit too deep. Dana Grover, top Toyota, is sixth. Harder, Fedorov, Hassel, Stanley, Furtado, Robillard. Those guys have yet to go out, and I would suggest you they probably are not qualifying. Get it up to third. And Steve Pierce off there a little bit in turn one, but Steve Pierce getting his time lap in and sits eighth on the grid. Dennis Yudichin in the 47 car. In the Toyota. One of our Ukrainian drivers. Get Alvarez a top time, 146.097 for Alvarez. Here's on second, Vieta third, so three Chevys make up the front of this grid. A couple Fords and a Toyota. Chris Hughes in the Chevy, Steve Pierce in a Chevy, and Dennis Yudichin right now shown in ninth. Gordon Carter is 10th. Carter not pitting, or not qualifying there. A little bit slow through the chicane for this 47, taking that easy road way out there. Keep that car pointing in the right direction. .152.951 for Dennis Yudichin in lap number 2. So it looks like 8th on the grid there for Dennis. And I would suggest to you he's probably, he's got one more lap in him there. I thought he already had a lap in, so. High Octane Racing League Tough Trucks will be back in action on Tuesday for a 120-lap race at Gateway Raceway. It's race number 7 of the season. We had a doozy last week at Atlanta, or earlier this week, I should say. So Gateway going to be a fun one, man. A little shifting going on there. Some can't go flat out like you do at Atlanta. So this will be an interesting one. Racing starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Gateway Raceway, the High Octane Racing League Tough Trucks. See where Dennis Yudichin lands on this lap. Chicane there, trying to get that shallow. A little bit deep right there. Not bad. Pretty good transition through the chicane. Probably could have flattened out the first part of that chicane a little bit. So that was his, I knew that he'd already had 2 time laps. Maybe that's why he was doing that, just get some extra laps in there. So that's going to do it for the qualification session. I know we still have 5 minutes left. These guys do the DM there, so everybody went out. So these guys will get the drivers meeting in. That's going to give us a chance to get this party started. All right, welcome back. Thanks for joining us tonight. In case you're just joining us, we are at Daytona Road Course tonight. 35-lap race in the High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Series. Race number 3 of the season. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, broadcaster, commentator here at TurnLeftTV. And I think we're going to have a fun one tonight. It'll be a big field. Anywhere from 15, 16, 17 drivers joining us. Let me look here. 1, 2, 3. Right now, 16 in TeamSpeak, and I would imagine we're going to have another one rejoining us. We did have 17, so pretty good sized field here tonight. And these guys right now are still going through the drivers' meeting. Just about a minute and a half left in the qualification session. High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series back in action tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Road America. We had 2 ovals. We had Iowa and Gateway, and now we're back to a road course, Road America, and that is a lightning fast road course. 35-lap race, race number 5 of the season. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Don't forget, EliteHostingUSA.com can provide you with a server for your race league. That's who provides our servers here at HighOctaneRacing.net. And EliteHostingUSA.com can provide you servers in your local area to help fit your league's needs, best pings that you can get. And also, don't forget to click on those links down in the description of the race. We've got a PayPal link there. Also, click on the SimLab link, and I've got a GT1 Evo sim rig that I race from, and I love it, man. Some free shipping to all orders in the United States, too, by the way, at SimLab. So if you're interested in a rig, an 80, I guess it would be an 80-20 sim rig. That's what the profile is, aluminum profile. Great stuff, easy to put together. All that stuff's all pre-cut for you just to put it together, and you got all the bolts and all that stuff, and it takes really no time at all. So don't forget to click on that link if you're interested in checking out some of the stuff they have there at SimLab. I would greatly appreciate it. It looks like these guys are done with the qualification session. Let's take a look at the results. Franco Alvarez with a 146.097 is the pole setter here, starting outside. Row 1 is Craig Marizon. Archer Vieira starts in the 3rd position. Gelson Neto starts 4th. Claudio Bardelli Jr. starts 5th. Data Grover starts in the 6th position. Chris Hughes starts in P7. Dennis Schuderson starts 8th. Steve Pierce starts in the 9th position. And Gordon Carter starts in P10. Starting in the 11th position will be Eugene Fedorov in the 84 car. Preston Hassel, how about the 27 AMD Ford back in action? Preston Hassel starts P12. John Stanley will start in the 13th position. Tony Furtado 14th. Todd Robillard starts in 15th. And Givaldo Spindola starts in 16th, although not on the list right there, but he is rejoined. So that's our starting order here tonight. Little chatters in here. Fireball Flash, that's Data Grover. Joining us, he's racing from Trax VR. Those guys up in Calgary providing a place to race for sim racers, and they got an outfit up there, man. Wow, I've seen some pictures of that. Been surfing around on their website, and Some stuff that Dana sent me as well. Man, that is fantastic facility there. And sounds like they have a lot of fun, too. Some girls show up once in a while, from what I hear. Word on the street, sometimes the ladies show up. So that's up in the Calgary area, and Dana Grover racing from there. And thanks to Tracks VR for providing those guys with a place to race. Maybe one day they can all race in an event here at High Octane Racing League, and we can have it broadcast. We can have it those guys providing a place for all those drivers to race in the series at Tracks VR. That would be great, man. Thank you, Hammer. Appreciate that. 56 car out here doing some practice laps. We'll take a look at the schedule here in the Buschwackers series. Next week, we will be at Michigan. I guess they're going to get the snow blowers out there. I think they got quite a bit of snow. We got hit with snow here in Indiana today. We got about, I'd say probably about 4 inches of snow. Maybe not quite that much, about 3-4 inches of snow. Enough to keep us home and doing some virtual instruction today, but that was nice. So not nice to shovel. Don't like doing that, but Michigan International coming up next week here in the Buschwackers Series, 90-lap race. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Then we got a little short track action, Nazareth Speedway, on 130-lap race on February the 2nd to finish out the first half of the season. And you see Daytona. Some Daytona duels, 2 races, 35-lap races coming up on February the 9th, followed by Daytona International. 70-lap race on February the 16th. We got Atlanta, Vegas, and Phoenix to finish out the season. So a good little interesting season headed your way here in the Buschwackers Series. Now you guys can keep the snow, man. Cold weather, snow, all that stuff. Ooh. I gotta move south, bro. Maybe a happy medium, maybe down to Tennessee or somewhere like that. Craig Marizon, man, the 60 car, he's been fast. He came out and did some practice early in the week, and he's got this car set up, ready to rock and roll, I believe. Definitely on my bucket list to see some Bristol racing, that's for sure. Bristol's sort of up there, I believe, in that northeastern part of Tennessee. We have about 3 minutes left in the warm-up session. It is time, I think, to get your picks in. It's going to be a tough one here tonight, man. Wow. I think tell you what, I know there's a couple drivers that have been very, very fast, but I'm going to pick Arthur Vieira tonight in the 4 car. And I hear through the grapevine that he may have a new paint scheme very, very soon. So that's my pick to win this race. Thanks to everybody coming out and watching, man. I really appreciate that. My pick, Heath Johnson. I tell you what, man, I feel pretty confident about not to win the race, but I'd say to finish in, maybe P7 or so at this track. You're going to see some really solid. Fedorov's going to be great. Duvaldo looking pretty fast here tonight, too. Preston Hassel, his first race back, like right now, showing 4th in this practice session, because we only have it looks like 7, 8 guys that have come out here and run in this, or excuse me, in the warm-up session. That's funny. That is funny. I'm not doing too bad in the Truck Series and the Saturday Night Thunder. I get out and race in both of those. I would prefer to broadcast the Truck Series, to be honest with you. But I've been getting out racing in the Saturday Night Thunder and also the Truck Series, so not doing too bad. Had a fun race at NASCAR BR the other week on Monday, and I finished 2nd in that one. It was like 16 drivers, so I turn the wheel once in a while. Well, boys, it is about that time, isn't it? You see the 27 AMD Ryzen sponsor machine back out on the track. How about that? All right, boys and girls. I think we're ready to rock and roll. I think we are ready to rock and roll. Oh, I don't want that. I always make mistakes, man. I need an assistant.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
All right, boys and girls, here we go. Here we go. Time to get those picks in if you haven't gotten them in already. Let's take a look at the starting order here tonight at Daytona. Franco Alvarez in the 83 starts P1. Craig Marzon starts in the 2nd position in the 60 car. Arthur Vieira starts in 3rd. Gelson Neto in the 5X starts in P4. Starting in the 5th position, Claudio Bardelli Jr. Dana Grover in the top Toyota starts in P6. Chris Hughes starts in the 7th position. Dennis Unichin in the Toyota starts in P8. Starting in the 9th position, Steve Pearson, the 51 car. Gordon Carter starts 10th, Eugene Fedorov 11th. Preston Hassel starts in the 12th position. Starting in 13th, John Stanley. Todd Robillard starts in 14th. Givaldo Spindola starts in 15th. Looks like somebody not able to make the grid here, and so do a little restart, let them get. We get a lot of bad weather here in the area too, and around the United States, so could be an issue there. So apologize to that, everybody. Anybody who knows rFactor 2 knows these things happen.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel.
All right, we're going to do a little retry on this. Apologize for that. Always something with this game, isn't it? Always something. So again, we'll redo the starting order. Franco Alvarez starts P1. Marzan starts in the 2nd position. Vieira and Neto make up row number 2. Row number 3 will be Bardelli Jr. and Dana Grover. Row 4, Chris Hughes in the 7. Dennis Uderton in the 47. Row number 5. Steve Pierce, Gordon Carter. Eugene Fedorov, Preston Hassel start in row number 6. Row number 7, John Stanley, Todd Robillard, and the lone soldier out there in row number 8 is Givaldo Spindola. Pretty fast here. These guys are going to do single file through the road course section of the track until they get through the chicane, and then they'll get it up double file here. Hopefully everybody sort of tightens it up somewhat. This can be a little challenging. Pace car's a little fast, I think, here, especially through the with stock cars. It'd be a little challenging. Don't forget my keys to the race. As I find those, there we go. Keys to the race here tonight. Turn 1, baby. Turn 1, especially on lap 1. You got to tame that chicane too. I think is flatten out that chicane as much as you can. Dominate that infield portion of the track. You got a pretty decent sized field here. Looks like 15 drivers, and gonna have to manage that traffic tonight as you start to roll up on some lap traffic or try to weave your way through traffic and limit the aggression. You start getting aggressive here at Daytona Road Course, and you are done for. So those are my keys to the race here at Daytona. Again, thanks for joining me here on TurnLeftTV. I appreciate everybody being in here. Third one is definitely tricky, that is for sure. Man, just for picking me tonight, Alexi, I'm going to pick you tomorrow in the Road America race in the IndyCar Series. How about that? Got to be careful with that. Anytime I pick somebody, that's the kiss of death. Third one is definitely tricky, man. It is kind of a sweeping turn. It's easy to get the back end of the car loose. It's easy to go in a little bit too hot as well and get off wide into the grass, into the wall, into the tire barrier, into everything, and ruin your night early on. All right, here we go to go 2 wide now. Yeah, I don't like the NASCAR chicane in the in RF2. Now McCabe did a great job of making this track, but man, I've got a little bit of a problem with the chicane there, the Stockcar chicane, personally. All right, pace car's off. Here we go. Green here at Daytona Road Course. And here's that infamous turn 1. Alvarez clear through turn 1. Everybody behaving themselves now. 83, Franco Alvarez. We got somebody off the track, way off the track there. Waldo off the track. Not sure what happened to him. Back at it, looks like Waldo had some trouble there on the start. Take a look and see what happened to him. Trying to catch up, it looks like. And that gets off the track. Interesting there for Givaldo. Finds himself behind the 8 ball a little bit. Preston Hassel and Steve Pierce. Now Preston Hassel had picked up a spot there on Steve Pierce. Let's take a look and see what happened with that. That pass is the 27 car getting around that 51. And 51 getting off into the grass there a little bit as the 27 picks up a spot. Look at this battle here. This battle is for the race lead. Arthur Vieira in the chicane. Oh, man, that caused Alvarez. Oh, they both go wide. They both go wide there. Very interesting on that one. They skipped that. Won't be doing that too often. You'll get a black flag. And that allows Bardelli Jr. to close in. On board here with Bardelli Jr. As he closes in, it looks like Vieira giving that spot back. Alvarez in the 83 into turn 1. Here we go. It's 2 wide into turn 1, I suspect. We'll see how this 19. He's going to go back it off a little bit as Alvarez holding on to P1. Bardelli Jr. up to the 2nd position. Arthur Vieira is in 3rd. Oh, Bardelli Jr. goes wide. Bardelli Jr. goes wide. And that's going to allow Arthur Vieira to get back by. Bardelli Jr. had a little trouble there, went wide. Marazon just behind him in the 4th position. Gelson Neto in P5. Tell you what, Preston Hassel here starting to move up. Preston Hassel getting around the 7 of Chris Hughes. Chris Hughes having a little bit of trouble in the infield portion of the track. Take a look at Steve Pierce in his 51 car. Behind him is the 90 of Todd Robillard. Steve Pierce running in the 12th position. Eugene Fedorov and Gordon Carter here battling it out. So Fedorov on the outside, Gordon Carter giving him a lot of room. Little Ford versus Chevy action there as Fedorov picking up that spot now up to P8. Gordon Carter back to the 9th position. Todd Robillard, he said, he does not feel comfortable at this track, and he's giving up a spot as John Stanley getting by. John Stanley is in the 13th position. Robillard falling back to P14. To the 12, Die-Hard sponsored Ford Mustang up to the 13th spot. Well, Alvarez is our leader here in this 83 car. Vieira is in 2nd. Take a look at our side-by-side view there. Chris Hughes running in the 11th position in that 7 car. Franco Alvarez leading the field. He's got about a 2.3 second lead over P2. Like Gordon Carter and Eugene Fedorov starting to battle again. Battling it out there, 4th position. This is for the 8th spot. Gordon Carter finding his rhythm. Oh, a little beating and banging on that Fedorov machine. And the 56 car getting by. Preston Hassel starting to get into this mix. Looking out of the back of Gordon Carter's machine, Eugene Fedorov running in 9th. Preston Hassel running in the 10th position. A couple Fords here climbing up onto the back of the Camaro. 56 of Gordon Carter. Take a look, Craig Marizon running in P4. Just behind Claudio Bardelli Jr. Alvarez is the leader. Yet a second. Bardelli Jr. 3rd. Marizon 4th. Gelson Neto in 5th. And Marizon looking pretty racy in this Magpul Dynamics sponsor machine. And the 60 car has a run here on the 19. Good battle here for the 3rd spot. Marizon looking for a place to make a pass. He says turn 1 might be my place. On board here with Craig Marizon. Bardelli Jr. hot into the turn. Marizon a little bit more conservative through the turn, and some different strategies there. The 19 swings wide. He had a little trouble with that turn. Oh, the 60 goes off course. The 60 goes off course, misses. It's into the grass a little bit, and now doesn't lose a spot, but loses some time on the. He does lose a spot as the Gelson Neto gets by. Take a look at Neto here in the 5X car. And Marizon just missed that. He just got loose right there, and Neto gets by. So Gelson Neto now up to the 4th position. As Marizon drops back to P5. Eugene Fedorov now closing in on the 7 of Chris Hughes. Fedorov in the 84 car, the Snow Maiden sponsor machine. Punk Rocker. Now picks up a spot as Chris Hughes falls back to the 11th spot. Check out Dana Grover here in the 89 car. Right now running in 6th. Closing in on Craig Marizon, who is in the 5th position. Dana Grover in the Fireball Flash sponsor Toyota. Trax VR sponsor machine. Running in P6. John Stanley here closing in on Steve Pierce. As they approach turn 1, is John Stanley in this 12 car. Steve Pierce into 51. Stanley, can he hold on to here to turn 1? On the brakes there pretty hard. You see a little smoke coming out of the tires there. And John Stanley picking up a spot. He's now up to P11. Steve Pierce back to P12. This battle here, the 51. That was Chris Hughes and Steve Pierce. A little bit more as Steve Pierce gets by. Jumping ahead a little bit. Take a look at Claudio Bardelli Jr. running in P3. Gelson Neto closing back in. Right now about a second and a half separate P3 and P4. Neto having a good night here running in the 4th position. Alvarez is our leader, man. He came out early in the week, got some laps in. He came out early today, got some laps in. And that's what separates the men from the boys. The 83 car, Bass Tracker sponsored Camaro. For 83, he is leading the field. He's got a 5-second lead over Artur Vieira. You guys going to have to do, I think, at least 2 pit stops, maybe 3. depending on how you save your fuel. Take a look at Archie Vieira running in the second position. As Franco Alvarez is the leader. Don't forget the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series will be back in action tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 35 laps from Road America. It's race number 5. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. That's coming up 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when quals start. I usually start the broadcast about 11:45 a.m., about 15 minutes before quals. So don't forget to join us there in the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series right here on TurnLeftTV. Everybody sort of maintaining their position right now. Let's take a look at Dennis Udich, and he and Gordon Carter having a fist fight right now. Little Toyota versus Chevy. 47, Dennis Udich in the Toyota running in P7. Gordon Carter running in the 8th position in that 56 car. A lot of guys don't like this track. I like this track. I like this track in the stock cars. Once you sort of figure it out, it is a pretty fun track. It's not super technical, to be honest with you. I mean, there's some places in the infield that I'm not super fond of, but the rest of the track, I'd say that last right-hander in the infield, not my favorite, to be honest with you. But the rest of the track, I have a lot of fun with. And Udichin opened up a little bit of a gap there on Gordon Carter, who's running in P8. About 7/10 separate those two, 8/10 separate those two. This battle here, Steve Pierce and Chris Hughes. Chris Hughes in the 7 car as they enter the chicane. This is going to get wild here. Oh, Steve Pierce got a little bit wide there. A little bit wide for Steve Pierce. That's going to allow Robillard to close in. Robillard now closing in on Steve Pierce. Oh, Pierce gets down onto the apron there. Almost loses the back end of that car. Robillard's got to run on Steve Pierce. And he's going to pick up a spot. Into turn 1, this Sunoco-sponsored machine. Starting to make some moves here, man. Getting around Steve Pierce. Steve Pierce through turn 1. Rough entry there. He's just very, very conservative through that section of the track. Take a look at there. Hot on the brakes for the 51 car. Oh, no, and he loosed the back end of the car. Not too bad, though. Loses the back end, doesn't hit anything. Gets the car pointed in the right direction. Captain Morgan for everybody here tonight. Free Captain Morgan. We get back up here to live to Franco Alvarez in the 83. He's got a good road course program, man. I mean, we know he's solid at the ovals. But he's serious about this stuff, man. He does practice the track throughout the week, figures it out, knows how to adjust that track bar throughout the race to really get the most out of the car, save the tires when he needs to save the tires, adjust his braking points, and right now has a pretty substantial lead over Vieira. Vieira running in P2 here in the 4 car. A lot of racing left to go here. We're going to see pit stops here fairly soon, I believe. Battle tightening up here between Claudio Bardelli Jr. and Gelson Neto. Neto running in the 4th position in the 4X car. He's starting to close in on Bardelli Jr. On board here with Gelson Neto. These guys are approaching the chicane. Gelson Neto's going to try to use this opportunity maybe to slip underneath that 19 car. He thinks better of it. But he is definitely closing in on the 19. This is a battle. Claudio Bardelli Jr. in the 19, the 5X of Gelson Neto. A couple of our Brazilian drivers here slugging it out right now. Gelson's just trying to find a way, find a place to be able to get around. He's on the outside. And now they're side by side, and they're going to enter turn one side by side. Bardelli Jr. backs off. Lets Neto have that position. Looks like Vieira has come down pit lane. So Vieira, Artur Vieira on pit lane. Dana Grover on pit lane. So pit stops have started. We see Vieira finishing up his pit stop, man. This is a wild exit off of pit lane right here, man. You got to maintain 45 to this. That's a sidewalk right there. I mean, come on. And then right there is the timing line. Maintain 45, and if you don't, you get caught speeding. You got to do, what is it, a drive-through? Oh, no! Vieira coming back on the track, gets into the 7 car. Oh, no! There was contact there as Vieira got back onto the track. Chris Hughes was out of the track, swung it wide, and Vieira got into the right side. Take a look here as Chris Hughes right here into 7 doesn't realize that Vieira's come back on the track. I talked about that in the driver's meeting. And then Hughes into the wall. Wow. John Stanley had a bird's eye view for that, didn't he? Look at this. Oh, right there, the 7 just coming over. He doesn't realize the 14 or the 4 car is there. And into the fence goes Chris Hughes. He had a head of steam too, man. He just doesn't realize that the 4 car is below him. He comes over trying to set himself up, and then the 7 car into the tire barrier. Bardelli Jr. is our leader in the 7 car on pit lane now. What a tough break there for Chris Hughes. To limp that car around and get that thing on pit lane. And I would imagine that Artur Vieira's got a little bit of front end damage. The 19 of Claudio Bardelli Jr., the leader. And we are seeing Chris Hughes come down pit lane. The 19 car of Claudio Bardelli Jr. indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane. Guys trying to stretch this out as much as they can. That's Hughes on pit lane, and I would imagine that's going to be a little bit of an extended pit stop there for Chris Hughes. The 90 on pit lane as well. Steve Pierce on pit lane. Chris Hughes quicker than I thought there on pit lane, so maybe not a lot of damage to that machine. Looked like he hit that tire barrier fairly hard. The back end hit. He's going to come back out. Looks like P14 right now. As Bardelli is on pit lane. And Alvarez back out. Will regain the race lead, I believe. John Stanley indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane this time by. So we're taking a look at John Stanley in the 12 car, right now shown in P6. John Stanley on pit lane as we see Franco Alvarez leading the field. Big long, not a huge long pit stop there, but decent amount. And he's now coming back out off pit lane. Rejoin the racing service. Waldo Spindle on pit lane. Now he had a rough start to this race. You see him coming down pit lane to the 68 car. One of our Brazilian drivers. He started off with a little bit of trouble there, and he is last car on the lead lap. Look at this, man, rekindling this battle as that Gelson Neto had gotten around Marizon. Remember, Marizon had a little trouble with the infield portion of the track and now climbs back up onto the back of the 4X car and gets by. A good battle here between Gelson Neto and Craig Marizon, and I don't think that battle's over. Here we are heading into turn one, and Gelson Neto on the inside looking like he wants to get back around that 60 car. They're starting to roll up on Bardelli Jr. too, so we got a good three-way battle here. Waldo Spindle has a penalty. Looks like he might have gotten caught speeding. That is a tough break there for Givaldo. You see just ahead of those guys is Bardelli Jr., so we got a good three-way battle here shaping up. Looking out of the back of Bardelli Jr.'s machine at Craig Marizon and Gelson Neto. You know he's looking in his rearview mirror and he sees these guys coming. So it looks like pit sequence or pit road, about 11 laps or so. We did 2X fuel on this. Bardelli Jr. a little bit better off back up onto the oval portion of the track. A 1.2 second lead over Craig Marizon, who's in P4. Take a look at Archer Vieta, kind of out there by himself right now. He is in P2. Had a hard on the brakes there. Had a little bit of trouble there with coming back off pit lane. Had some contact with Chris Hughes, who's now back to the 12th position in that 7 car. A tough night there. And Chris, I think, came over, didn't realize maybe that 4 car was still there coming off pit lane, and came across the nose of the 4 and ended up in the tire barrier, the wall and the tire barrier. About Dana Grover here in the 89 car, locking him up a little bit. Guys had sort of complained somewhat about the brake pressure. And full disclosure, I'm the guy who took a setup and kind of tweaked it a little bit, but I didn't really mess with the brake pressure too much. But they can blame me. Don't let the broadcaster make your setups. How about that? '89 of Dana Grover. Good top, what is he in 6th position right now? A little work to do for Dana Grover, but nonetheless, good run here for him in that Toyota. He is the top Toyota in the field. Chris Hughes, Todd Robillard here battling it out. Robillard to the outside. Chris Hughes on the inside trying to pick up a spot. And the 7 car gets by the 90. Chris Hughes now trying to climb back up that grid. Oh, down into that oval portion. They don't want to do that, man. That thing will spin out on you. And Robillard climbing up onto the back of the 7 as they approach turn 1. Chris Hughes there transitioning through turn 1, and that's where that disaster happened the last time, right there on that pit exit. See him getting around the 68 car, who had a stop-and-go penalty. Robillard a little bit wide in that 90 car. Robillard running in the 12th spot. Just behind him, John Stanley in P11. Sunoco Ultra sponsored Camaro and the Stanley Tools Ford Mustang battling for position. John Stanley looking on the inside. Robillard gets off the up onto the oval portion of the track and slams that car in the side. Alvarez weaving through some lap traffic, getting around Givaldo, who is now 2 laps down. Steve Pierce 1 lap down in P14. And there we go. We'll take a look. The 12 car to the inside as they approach turn 1. And the 12 of John Stanley picking up a spot. Now up to the 12th position as Robillard falls back to P13. Stanley really conservative here through turn 1. Take a look at Dennis Yuchin here running in the Jelson Neto. I don't know if he lost his connection or what, but he's out. What happened to Jelson? Take a look here. Jelson Neto in the 5X machine. Battling Preston Hassel. Neto. Good bat. Oh, he lost his connection, I bet. Oh, my heavens. Jelson has had some connection issues. What a tough break there for Jelson. And he was having a good run, too. Running in the about the 5th spot. Looks like he was running in P8, actually. And got out, or dropped his connection. Well, Franco Alvarez is starting to roll up with some lap traffic here, and that could be an issue here depending on where you catch him. He's got a pretty comfortable lead. But he is definitely one of those guys that comes out early, practices the track. You might practice from home, too, in single-player mode. But practices the track and figures out what he needs to do to get this car around. And now he's going to get around that 7 car. Put the 7 car 1 lap down. Next guy in line is Eugene Fedorov here coming through the chicane. Fedorov running in the 9th position. Preston Hassel just ahead in P8. Now 2.5 seconds separate the two of those guys. Preston Hassel just out of your frame there. Just ahead. We'll take a look at Preston Hassel here in the 27 car. Again, good to see Preston out here racing with us. AMD sponsored Ford Mustang. He said, I don't really expect too much tonight. Just going to get out and get some laps in. And what a track to come back on. Those guys are locking up those brakes a little bit. Blame that on the broadcaster. Perhaps I wasn't getting the car around fast enough to lock up the brakes. See Gordon Carter running into 7th position. Good top 10 run here for the 56 at Daytona Road Course. He's rolling up on Dennis Udichin, so this is a good battle here for position. Gordon Carter, Dennis Udichin, and battling it out through the chicane here. As Udichin opening up a little bit of a gap right there. But Gordon Carter in that draft and close back in. About a half a second separate the two of those guys. So this is for position. Tight battle here on the track between the 47 and the 56. As they approach turn 1. Gordon Carter backing up that turn. 47 car hitting it pretty hard. Interesting to see the different strategies through the turn. And Carter faster through that section of the track. Gordon Carter on board here with him as you look ahead at Dennis Udichin running in the 6th spot. Gordon Carter trying to work on the backseat area, a little downshift right there. My least favorite turn that those guys just navigated through. And that battle tightening up. Eugene Fedorov now closing in on the 27, the 84 car. That Ford Mustang, couple Fords here duking it out as the 84 to the outside. That's going to set himself up. Oh, a little tight on the brakes. Tight on the brakes. He gets by the 27 car, picks up a spot. Fedorov up to 8th. Preston Hassel is in 9th. Well, good battle there. Franco Alvarez indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane this time. So Franco Alvarez through the chicane had already indicated that he's going to be pitting this time. You got to be really careful, too. You do not want to mess up a good night. You see Franco Alvarez peeling off the track to come down pit lane. Do not want to mess this up by speeding. 45 miles an hour on pit lane. Dennis Udichin picking up a spot as Dana Grover is on pit lane. So our race leader, Franco Alvarez, is on pit lane. As we're watching Dennis Udichin in the 47 car. Now this is going to be interesting here. You see some of that lap traffic there coming back out. Look at that. Alvarez coming out a little bit of an odd time. He's got to lay behind the 27 car. Bardelli Jr. now going to take the race lead. Now Bardelli Jr. still has to come down pit lane. We're going to go take a look at out Alvarez there, had a little bit behind there. We're going to take a look at Franco Alvarez running in the third position now. And he's got some cars ahead. See the 60 car just ahead, Craig Barazon. Also Claudio Bardelli Jr. That is 1, 2, 3. Alvarez on those fresher tires. How patient is he going to be? Bardelli Jr. leads. Alvarez now looking on the low side of Craig Barazon. This is for the second position. Franco Alvarez in that Bass Pro Shops sponsored 83 Chevy Camaro. Now getting it around Craig Barazon. It'll be interesting here as they approach the chicane. Alvarez through the chicane. Now closing in on the 19. Looking out of the back of Claudio Bardelli Jr.'s machine at Franco Alvarez. So you got to feel pretty good about that on-off sequence there for your second pit stop. Alvarez to the outside. This is a battle. Bardelli Jr., Franco Alvarez. Oh, no! Oh, man, that was a little bit of a tap right there. Alvarez chopped the front of that 19 car off. Wow! Did you see that? Holy Toledo. Let's take a look at that again. Franco Alvarez says, I want that spot. Watch this entry. Right here. Look at this. And I tell you what, man, there might have been some contact there. There was definitely some contact. Bardelli Jr. hard on the brakes. If they didn't swap paint, I have no idea. You couldn't put a piece of paper between the two of those guys. Wow. Go on board here with Bardelli Jr. Watch this. Going to see a whole lot of Bass Pro Shops right there. Whoa! There was not any contact. Wow! Not any contact. On board here again. Slow-mo here. As you see right there, no contact. How in the world? That was crazy. Look out of the back of Bardelli Jr.'s machine. Watch this. That is as close as you can get without making contact. Wow. That is crazy. We go back to live here. Franco Alvarez. Man, that's a gutsy move there by the Bass Pro Shops machine. I don't know what we do in there is session results. That is a gutsy move. Hope I didn't have session results up there the whole time. I was hoping to do replay event here, hopefully. So Alvarez the leader. Bardelli Jr. now on pit lane. Probably changing his shorts. Probably feeling like, wow, man, I need a drink. As he's coming back out on track. Wow, man, that was crazy. 21 laps in. Franco Alvarez the leader. Bardelli Jr. coming back onto the track after making a pit stop. They had to check the front of that car, make sure it still had the fender on it. No scrapes. No drips, no runs, no airs on that one. Arthur Vieta now up to P2 here in the 4 car. Now, there was a little bit of contact with Chris Hughes earlier in the race. And the 4 car now running in second. So we know he's got a little bit of damage to that machine, front end damage. And that definitely has impacted his race, but he is showing in P2. I think he's still going to have to make a pit stop here personally. Take a look at Craig Marizon here in the 60 car. He's running in the 4th position, so a good run here for him. And that that Magpul Dynamic sponsor machine just ahead of him is Claudio Bardelli Jr. So a pretty tight battle there between the two of those guys. Take a look at that battle there as just about a little under 2 seconds separate the two of them. And that is after making pit stops. Take a look at that. Dana Grover here running in the 5th spot. So good run here for the Trax VR. Sponsored Toyota, number 89, and Dana Grover in the top 5. Good showing there for him. Hopefully he's got a big crowd around him right now, watching him. So great run, and maybe they got TurnLeftTV on there at Trax VR somewhere. Oh, the 83 is indicating he's coming back down pit lane. So this is an interesting strategy from the 83. A little bit of an early pit here for him. That's interesting. Little strategy by the 83 car. Come back down pit lane early. Very interesting strategy here out of the 83. Remember, just not very many laps ago, 5-6 laps ago, he was on pit lane. So now he says, hey, I'm going to make my final pit stop early. So the 83 playing a little chess right now with these boys. Hard to get a scratch in his head. Let's take a look at John Stanley. Stanley running in the 11th position in the Ford. One lap down, trying to close in on Chris Hughes. About a second separate those two guys. Chris Hughes just ahead as they go through turn 1 on board here with John Stanley. And to close in on that 7 car. Here, feather the throttle there coming off. Jelson Neto, is that right? Oh, that's Craig Marizon. Jelson Neto retired his machine, I believe. He came back out on the track, so he rejoined, and he's shown 4 laps down. What a tough break for Jelson. He was running in the 8th position. He was running in the 8th position when he got disconnected. Look at this battle here, the 56 and the 47. We saw those guys getting after it a little while ago. Now after pit stops, they are back at it. And the 56 car down to the inside. This is 4th position. Dennis Unichin does not want to be passed. He gets into the wall there a little bit. Into turn 1, Unichin going to the inside. He says, I want that spot back. 56 car got around, and Unichin hauls into turn 1 as Unichin picks up that spot. And Gordon Carter had it for a moment, and Unichin swiped it back out of his hand. Oh, what a battle there. Take a look at that replay. As Gordon Carter got around Unichin. Unichin got a little bit wide and got up into the wall. You watch this 47 car, he's going to get up into the wall. It's right there, a little smack on the wall. And then into turn 1, Unichin dives down to the inside, stays in the throttle. 56 car has the wide. Oh, he gets out of the gas right there, lets Unichin have it. Maybe hoping that Unichin might overrun that turn. Unichin really got hard on the brakes. Good run here for Franco Alvarez. 14-second gap there on Artavieta. Bardelli Jr. second. Bardelli Jr. third. Marizon fourth. Dana Grover running in fifth. Steve Pierce having a pretty interesting night here in his 51 car. A lot of action there for him as he's looking to roll up on those that 56 and that 47. He said he wants a little part of that battle. Steve Pierce running one lap down in the 13th position, but at least wants to take a look at that battle between those guys. That in front of his machine. You see Gordon Carter and Dennis Unichin. Oh, no! Captain Morgan sponsor machine goes wide, gets in the grass. Captain Morgan for everybody here. Every time Steve Pierce gets off track, he owes everybody some Captain Morgan. One of our Texas drivers. That means the bottle of Captain Morgan is going to be twice the size. Take a look at Preston Hassel in the 27 car, running in the 9th position. Came back tonight, been a long absence, dealing with some life issues, family and so forth, catching up there. And now back here on the track. And he said this is a crazy race to be coming back at. Fedorov trying to close in on him. Fedorov trying to close in on that 27 car as well. Now Vieira running into second position. He is 16 seconds back in P2. And that car is starting to get a little bit loose on it. That 4-car NASCAR BR sponsor machine is starting to get a little bit loose. Got the Soul TV logo on the side as well. And some good chat out of the Trax VR guys. Trowick, you can see him out. Yeah, definitely pit earlier and a quicker pit stop. Maybe able to burn off that fuel a little bit. Good idea. Baldus had a tough night there right off the bat. Had trouble in turn 1. Got himself in the grass and now trying to play catch up. He is 3 laps down in the 68 car in P14. Trying to just get through this race and head on to the ovals. Next week we'll be at Michigan. Robillard now 1 lap down in the 90 car. Had a pretty good battle there for a while with John Stanley. Eugene Fedorov and him were battling it out a little bit as well. Fedorov now up to P9. The 90 car here trying to do a points night. Running in 12th. One of our Rhode Island drivers. John Stanley just ahead in P11. These guys are locking up those back tires a little bit. Braking a little off in this setup. As Bardelli Jr. starting to close in on John Stanley. Lap 26. Starting to wind him down, boys. Bardelli Jr. running in 3rd. Take a look at Eugene Fedorov here in the 84 car. Kind of out there by himself right now. He is running in the 8th position. And I can't even imagine how much snow he must have in his area of the world. Sent me some pictures about a month ago and they were deep into snow. That's why he's got the Snow Maiden paint scheme, I guess. As the 84, good top 10 run here for Eugene Fedorov. It's got to be somewhere on about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning for him. So he's really sacrificing a lot, sacrificing that sleep to come out and race with us. tell you what, that Dennis Udichin and Gordon Carter battle is probably the best one on the track right now. Hey, Paulo Chachalowski also joining us in the chat. Good to see Paulo. Hopefully he's been living some life. Playing in a band, singing, so forth. So that's pretty cool. Good to see some of that stuff that he does. And take a look at the 47 and the 56 here battling it out. 4 to 7 a.m. Woo! Let's closing that out just as he's making that chat. Good to see Alexi. As Gordon Carter peeling off the track to come down pit lane. Also Dana Grover on pit lane. So Dana Grover making his pit stop. As we see Dana Grover in the 89 car finishing up his pit, coming back out on track. Right now shown in 6th. Dennis Udichin in the 47 is 5th. Couple Toyotas on the screen right now. As the 89 has to take that long, narrow road off pit lane. You're going to see the double cones right there. That's the timing line, and now you can step on the gas. We'll step on the gas. Back up here, Claudio Bardelli Jr. now leading. Franco Alvarez on pit lane. Interesting there for Franco Alvarez to be on pit lane again. Not sure what's going on with that, but that's an interesting strategy. Well, I'm missing out on that one. Franco Alvarez, take a look. He is on pit lane. There's Bardelli Jr. taking the lead as Alvarez has pitted his car. And we'll see what was going on there. So yeah, he's come down pit lane. Not really sure what the deal is with Alvarez. See if we can back it up a little bit, get an idea of. He said it was going to be a 3 pit stop race, but it looked like he is going down for pit stop number 4. So interesting. Maybe he's got something else up his sleeve. Take a look at Craig Marizon running in P2. Good run here for him. Just ahead, we see the 7 of Chris Hughes, who had some trouble there early on. And Chris Hughes running in the 7th position. As Marizon now coming down pit lane, you see in the 2nd spot. So Bardelli Jr. is the leader in the 19. Take a look at Eugene Fedorov here as Fedorov, hot through the chicane. Eugene Fedorov hot through the chicane. That 84 car doesn't hit anything, but man, he was carrying a lot of speed. As you see the 5X going by. Gelson Neto. Fedorov hard into this chicane. Wow, he just entered a little bit too much speed and locked him up, and then does a good job of staying out of the wall, but going to lose some time. And that is not something you want to do too often. A good battle here. Arthur Vieira in the 4th position. Running in the 4 car. Sideways there for Arthur Vieira. Pick up a spot. It looks like Marizon is coming back onto the track off pit lane, so he's made his pit stop. Maybe I miscounted on the pit stops there. I don't know. That's why I broadcast. I'm not really, good at that either. Not a good race car driver, not a good broadcaster. Who knows? I don't have any talent, man. Just here, so I don't get fired. Don't get fined. Can't even quote Kyle Busch. Dana Grover here running in P5. A good run here for the Toyota. Still hanging on to P5. Looking to maybe try to pick up another spot. Marizon quite a bit ahead there. About 50 seconds ahead in P4. Trying to hold on to that 5th spot. Gordon Carter is 1 lap down. Gordon Carter is 18 seconds back to Dana Grover. Take a look at Dennis Udichin in the 47 car. Udichin running in 7th. Now trying to close back in on Gordon Carter. Gordon Carter had gotten around Udichin. Take a look at that replay there as Gordon Carter making the pass on Dennis Udichin. Udichin coming off pit lane as Gordon Carter going to pick up that spot. We'll see Dennis Udichin coming back onto the track there in P7. Gordon Carter running in the 6th position. These guys have been around each other all night long. Bardelli Jr. is the leader. As we have got about 6 laps to go. Bardelli Jr. is coming down pit lane. Oh boy. Now how much fuel do you take? Very little, right? Because Bardelli Jr. on pit lane, and that's going to give the race lead back to Franco Alvarez. As we see Bardelli Jr. taking his final pit stop of the night. Alvarez a little squirrely coming off the turn as you see Bardelli Jr. exiting pit lane. Now in 3rd as Marizon gets by. Does Bardelli Jr. have enough time to close back? Artur Vieta gets by. Does Bardelli Jr. have enough time to close back in on Artur Vieta? Now, Vieta has been absolutely abusing those tires. And he is running in the 2nd position. We take a look at that battle there. 13 seconds separate the two. If Vieta has to come down pit lane, that's going to change the ball game quite a bit for him. Bardelli Jr. will probably be able to get around him. If he stays off pit lane, able to make it, then I would suggest to you that I don't think Bardelli Jr. is going to be able to run him down. Chris Hughes picking up a spot there as Todd Robillard made a pit stop. Chris Hughes now bouncing back up to P11. And a tough way to go there as he and Vieta got into one another early on. Vieta coming back off, that was after that first pit stop. Vieta was coming back on the track. And Chris Hughes came across and had a little bit of contact there. Found himself in the tire barrier. Trying to play catch up now is the 7 car. The best battle on the track is the battle, I think, between, actually looks like John Stanley and Preston Hassel battling. About 9/10 separate the two of those guys. So John Stanley, maybe a little fresher stuff, closing in on Preston Hassel. This is 4th position for P9. Stanley downshifting there to try to break that car. And now closing in on Preston Hassel, that 27 car. Good battling here, the 27 and the 12. Justin Hassel swings wide. That's going to leave the door open for the 12 car. And he's closing in. That 27 definitely knows he's there. As we're winding down the laps here, this battle is for the 9th position. Couple Fords here duking it out. And John Stanley low, man, get a little bumper into the back of that 27 car. A little bumper into the back of the AMD Rising sponsor machine. John Stanley getting the staple gun out. And now opened, looks like Hassel opened up a little bit of a gap there, about half a second now. Alvarez is our leader here in this 83 car. Gilmar Peixoto there. I hate to see him not racing tonight, man. He dropped out before quals. Tough to see him not on the track with us tonight. Cross start finish line. We'll have 2 to go. Franco Alvarez in the 83 car. Rolling through the chicane, closing in on Dana Grover, who is in the 5th position. We'll cross the start finish line. We'll have 2 laps to go. And I tell you what, back up on that oval portion of the track, look at this staple gun. Staple gun to the inside of the 27. John Staple Gun Stanley getting by the 27 car. And makes that pass. So picking up a position here now in P9. Go back and look at that pass here. Preston Hassel sees a whole lot of that 12 car. Oh, the 12 sideways right there. Woo, that 12 got sideways. Gordon Carter, Dennis Unichin mixing it up here. Gordon Carter trying to get around Dennis Unichin. And I believe he does. Unichin, something happened to him. He got off track. Got 2 laps to go. Oh, Dennis hit the curb and upset the balance of the car. He's in the grass. That's what happened to him as Gordon Carter slips through. Mowing some grass in the 47. So Gordon Carter picking up a spot. Now up to P6. Vienna is in 2nd. Bardelli Jr. 3rd. Marizon 4th. Grover is in 5th. 1 lap to go for the 83. And he has had a solid night. Like I said, man, he came out early in the week, got some laps in, figured out what he needed to do for this with this setup, and it shows. Alvarez through this infield portion of the track. See Dennis Unichin running in the 7th position, trying to close in on Gordon Carter. A little bit of a gap now separating the 2 of those guys. It looks like it's about 11 seconds there. So Franco Alvarez through the chicane. Bass Pro Shop sponsored Chevy Camaro through the chicane around the turn. So Franco Alvarez in the 83 is going to bring home the victory here at Daytona. Wow. Another dominating performance there for the 83. So great job to the 83 on getting the win. I love when they switch directions on the track. They're flying the camera thing doesn't like that. So congratulations to Franco Alvarez on getting the win. We'll get some light on the side of that car. He needs to do another donut. So great job to Franco Alvarez on getting the win here at Daytona. Wow. Dominating performance there for Franco. Practice pays off, that is for sure. So what a race there for the 83 car. Fantastic run there for him. Let's take a look at the final results. Steve Pierce get that car around. Let's see, if he finish. 51 car. Waiting for him to cross the line. A little bit of warping here. On my end, we got a ton of snow here, so 51 gets that car across the line. Let's take a look at the session results. Franco Alvarez gets the win. Art Vieta finished in the second position. Claudio Bardella Jr. finishes in third. Craig Marizon fourth. Dana Grover finishes in fifth. Gordon Carter finished sixth. Dennis Udich in seventh. Eugene Fedorov finished in that eighth position. Chris Hughes ninth. John Stanley finishes in P10. Starting in the 11th position, finishing in 11th, Preston Hassel in the 27th. Todd Rublard in 12th. Steve Pierce finished in the 13th position. Cavaldo Spindle in 14th. And Jelson Neto finishes in P15. Wow, what are we going on there? Try to improve that somewhat. There we go. So congratulations to Franco Alvarez. We'll see if we can't get him in the booth. And another dominating performance here now at Daytona Road Course. All right, Franco Alvarez joining us up here in the booth, and wow, man, what a dominating performance here at Daytona.
Hey, thank you, Heath. Hi, everybody watching it. Oh man, it was fun. To be honest, this car is a blast to drive on the road courses. It's so fun, it's so difficult. It just keeps you on the edge of your seat. Every single lap is so fun.
Well, I mean, you had a pretty decent little battle there early on with Vienna and Bargelli, Marzon up in that mix too. You know, what was the difference throughout the course of the race there to allow you to open up the gap?
Well, at the first lap of the bus stop, Arthur missed the chicane, and I needed to cut the chicane to avoid him, and that allowed Claudio and Craig to close up. And after that, the next half a lap I could make an advantage enough so they didn't have draft on the straights, and that allowed me to open the gap consistently. So that was the key of the race in my opinion. And also I got an unnecessary drive-through speed in the pit lane that cost me like 25 to 30 seconds. So I need to learn from it.
Yeah, so almost a devastating mistake, but you were able to capitalize, and some of these other guys got, you know, in the top 5 made mistakes as well. Is it sometimes the guys who make the fewest mistakes are the ones that rise to the top?
It's usually the case, yes. I got away with it today because I had a big enough advantage, so I could allow myself to do something wrong. But if it was a tight race, I would certainly lose the win. So yeah, that's usually what happens. If you don't make mistakes, you will get a good result. That's usually the case.
Well, we have a very different beast facing us next week. Michigan International, wide track, you know, a lot of 2-wide racing there. What's the strategy going into Michigan?
Well, in my opinion, Michigan is worse than Daytona or Talladega in the fact that anyone can win race. So the strategy will be stay out from the crashes, because there will be crashes, and just keep the car clean and have a good position at the end to attack for the lead.
Well, hey, great job here at Daytona Road Course. What a fun race to watch. It had to be a lot of fun there, sort of weaving through some of that lap traffic as well. And even if you're out there by yourself, I think this track's a lot of fun. Definitely in the stock cars, too, because it's a little dicier on the handling.
Man, the Xfinity cars on road courses are just something else, man. It's so fun to drive. Even if you are completely by yourself, it's still really fun to drive. So I had a blast. I am glad I put the number 83 Basper Shap's Camaro on victory lane again, and that's 3 for 3. So we are chasing championship this season, and we're in a good path at the moment.
Well, good luck to you next week, and maybe we can see that Bass Pro Shops sponsored Camaro back in victory lane at Michigan.
Well, who knows if the Tire Pros does a comeback? Who knows? But
oh, okay.
I never know. So thanks, Heath, for the work you do. Thanks for the broadcast. Thanks everybody for watching, and have a good one.
You too, man. Thanks. That's Franco Alvarez there joining us up in the booth. Another victory at Daytona Road Course. How about that one? Good race there for him. And we talked about that schedule coming up next week. We'll be at Michigan, 90-lap race. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's Michigan, baby. We got some more racing headed your way this weekend. kicking it off tomorrow at Indy in the IndyCar Series, High Octane Racing League style. We'll be at Road America for race number 5 of the season. Racing will start at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The broadcast at 11:45 a.m. Please join us. This series has been fantastic, man. The guys were saying, "Hey, man, we want to race another season." They're having so much fun. So I've had some guys message me about that, and well, let's get through this season and see what we got. So Road America coming up tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on TurnLeftTV. It's the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series. And then Saturday nights, the road course, Daytona road course, and the Saturday Night Thunder. Race number 3 of the season, another 35-lapper, and they'll be in the Cup Series. So that'll be a fun one. Beat the broadcaster night. That's not going to be very hard to do here at the road course at Daytona. Tonight's race has been brought to you by EliteHostUSA.com. If you are interested in an rFactor 2 server, there are 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from. We had rock solid connection tonight. Good fair number of drivers. We've had as many as 30 drivers on our server, and all rock solid connections. So check out EliteHostUSA.com. Thanks so much for coming out and watching the YouTube channel here on TurnLeftTV. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and get the video out there for more people to see. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Thanks to all those folks who have done so. And don't forget to smash the bell. You'll get updates of when races are going live. And I really appreciate everybody coming out and watching the videos here on TurnLeftTV, whether it be live or on replay. Don't forget to help me out by clicking on those links down in the description of this race. There's a little quick link right there as you look on my page. Over there it says 4 more links. Please click on those links and help me out. I really appreciate that. The High Octane Racing League Tough Trucks will be back in action on Tuesday. I've been racing in this series. It's a 120-lap race at Gateway coming up on January the 23rd. That's this Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can always join us over at highoctaneracing.net. Quick link to our Discord server. If you want to join us there, that's where we do most of our business. We would love to have you. Come on over. You get updates of races, what the point schedules are, what the timing throughout the week is at the various tracks. A quick link to our to TurnLeftTV as well, and watch the broadcasts. So come on out and join us at highoctaneracing.net. Well, that's going to do it for me tonight. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Congratulations to Franco Alvarez. I am out of here.